law firm in Boston. And then the fourth thing they mentioned was public administration. And when I last checked, you're the chair of CARS, a public nonprofit. By the way, I'd add that when we talked to Essex County Community Foundation, they went out of their way to say that you have turned CARS around almost single-handedly. And they couldn't say enough good things. I think that
spells bingo.
Well, I think that's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, very seriously, although a little tongue-in-cheek, I think we've met the probationary requirement with the addition of, if you're willing to consider coming aboard.
Yeah, well, I would say this, that, you know, I do have my responsibility to CARS, and we are not out of the woods yet. There are a lot of things that I can fix there, but I've been president for 3 years, and I'm hoping that I can wrap it up very quickly. In the probationary conditions, they need the member before the probation period ends, or can they just say you got someone in the wings?
They need someone nominated.
Yeah, nominated.
Nominated.
Yeah. And by the way, if it's not Sean O'Neill, it'll be someone a lot like him, because it really, as much as I think we all take the advice to heart to be fighting and not being worked over and all the rest of it. It's we're really hoping to be fighting about a program.
Yeah, sure, John.
And positioning, and I think that's the next step. So it's really what's really key is what goes on inside the classroom rather than what goes on outside right now. So it's really about the program, but it is about connecting to others in the community, especially in the arts community within institutions, and that's key.
I think it's also just I think our interest in having you come on board is not that you just meet those 4 requirements, obviously, but that helps. But I think so early on, the willingness to take a stand. I do think that's an important requirement for being on this board, because if you're fearful of people being angry with you or someone not liking you, you won't make it on this board, right? And clearly, that's not where you stand. And so I think that your energy, willingness to stand up and keep your convictions is hugely important on this board as well.
Yeah, I feel as though
I think we have to also do is talk about which one as a nomination.
Bring this to
excuse me?
Just wondering if we should have a motion to bring James as a candidate as a nomination to the board. Do we need a motion?
We do need a motion, and it needs to go with the term. Or, I guess, the board, I think we should make a recommendation to the term lane as well.
Yeah, do you think you can do that now? I mean, do you have an idea about what the term?
Well, it is a 1, 2, or 3 year term. That's the the recommendation would be a 3 year term.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. So I think, do you want me to make
that would be
a formal
very appropriate.
proposal? So I'd like to make a motion that we make a nominee, a proposal to the board, full board, to nominate James to the board, starting after our probation period or the beginning of the year, beginning of January.
I guess I'd have to update you on how CARS is doing time, but that would be certainly a good target period.
Okay, beginning of the year for a 3-year term.
Second.
All in favor?
Can we add the word enthusiastically?
Enthusiastic.
Great.
That's very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Thanks very much. Now, I would like to say, to leave some room for comments and questions.
And just, I'm looking for your opinion. The fundraising and the artists involved in the city. I know the person who's done extensive work and has a pretty comprehensive plan, what she plans to do, I guess. But I'm more concerned about the fighting with the city for everything that may disappoint us. Do you think it's wise right now, and I'm not questioning, I'm just curious, to be fighting about anything really until this is, through our probationary period?
Great question. I think that to Joe's point is you want to, where you have to really marshal your resources very carefully. It's a real question of restraint, constraint, not restraint. You guys have been very restrained already as far as you have a wealth of restraint on this board, this group, in my opinion. When you see something that's clearly wrong, though, I think you have to address it. And I think that the role of an advocate is, you don't have to be nasty about it. You can advocate in a lot of different ways.
So you don't read the blog?
I stopped reading the blogs because I just found it was really not a very, I think the idea that you can sign something without having your name on it is ridiculous. First of all, I'm frankly surprised that the newspaper doesn't change their policy about that. Because, I'm not in favor of throwing gasoline on fire. I'm just saying that where you have a group or individual that is really putting an untruth out there, you almost have a duty to correct it. Sure. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about mixing it up just for the sake of scuffing up one's knuckles. But when someone is really lying, you have to get on top of that. But people will sit back and look at this is, unfortunately, perception is somewhat of an issue, and you have to get ahead of it. If you're going through this, just take one more minute, and then I will totally shut up. But the Chamber of Commerce, again, this guy Hastings is pretty good. As soon as he came in, what did we have? We had the pregnancy pact, we had the water, everything negative. And Bob said, damn it, we gotta take control of our PR. There's no reason why, with all this great stuff going on here, that people know us as the pregnancy pact town, or the town where all the restaurants had to close for 40 days, because of no water. And in 6 months, they've worked with a local group, Matter Communications, where John McElhaney works, and they've done a great job. They've gotten stuff in every possible media all over the United States, and it's been terrific. Every month we go to these meetings and we see more PR that has happened because we've thrown some good news out and it's come back. And so that's all I'm saying is that just be mindful of when you can, when you really have to change the course of a bad piece of information that's being spread.
So we want to repaint whatever possible.
I want to add, just for the record, that many attempts have been made, but there's only so much you can do.
Right.
You can't take someone's hand and paper, or they refuse to call you back, or refuse to meet with you. You keep trying, but at some level it becomes difficult. So,
if you came on board as a trustees member, would your job at CRT be done?
I just couldn't do both. That's the problem. And as I told Joe, in terms of my, if I were to advocate, everyone in CRT as a director is supposed to advocate for nonprofits. One person's supposed to represent Art Haven, one person's supposed to represent the museum. So in that respect, it would be a very, very natural thing for a CRT board member to advocate on behalf of another nonprofit. Whether it's arts, culture, and education, or that's what we're supposed to do.
So you do CRT altogether?
I would like to, frankly, because I think that my point has been we went through a really, really rough time there. Our executive director basically abandoned the organization about 3 years ago because it was just too much for her. But it left us in really bad shape nonetheless. I feel very sympathy for her, but it didn't help the organization. So we were able to get through this. I've been doing a lot of private funding. I've brought in a lot of private foundation. I've tried to increase our stakeholders just to get all the other nonprofits to meet twice a year. We've been doing successfully. Has been a big thing. And also more contact with the body politic. We spend a lot of time talking to, the mayor, or state senator, representative, anyone who will listen, basically. I think that everyone who's a director is kind of an ambassador for the organization. Find someplace you can go out and make a difference and have an impact. Because you do need that happening all the time. But so that's a great question. I would not want to sit on two boards anyway. It wouldn't be a problem. Only that it would be a drain time-wise, and I don't think I'd do as good of a job on both as I would at one. And I frankly feel like I've done a pretty decent job at CRT, and I'm ready to let someone else, take it from there.
Other questions or comments either from the board or audience? I want to thank you so much for coming.
Thanks very much. May I see you for the rest of the meeting, or can I?
We'd love to.
I have no
Wait a second, we need a motion to adjourn the,
So moved.
the committee, this committee, in order. Okay. All in favor? So this committee is now adjourned, and in a minute or two, we'll start the thanks very much, all.
How are you doing?
You weren't late.
Yeah, there are you. Karen. That's great.
I have it set up ready to go.
I also have.
Jack is there, ready to go. He's at the point.
I also have a flash drive.
How are you? Sure.
I've never done that. It actually does have a place to put a USB right in.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you can probably need.
Yeah, it looks.
I have power source.
Is the battery fully charged?
I have a power source at the
Yes, I did, because I lost it.